So I think it was spring 2020. We were moving into quarantine, obviously, the world was shutting down and people were distancing. And I think we were several weeks into that when the distancing actually probably became stuffy. And we just said, we need some fresh air, some just fresh perspective. And so we had some friends invite us into the mountains, and we went up into Tennessee and spent some time up in the mountains. And not long after we arrived, this pretty lady just decides that it's a great time to go running in the mountains and up the mountain, which is like, I don't know, I'm not a runner, she's a runner, but I remember thinking, you've got to be kidding. I'm not a runner, first of all, and now you're wanting me to run up a mountain. And I was feeling the pressure about it, and I was like, I really don't want to do this. And somewhere in that moment, I just kind of began thinking, my wife and I, we've gone through a season these past several years where there's, I'd say not even just several years, it's been 20 years. We're pretty driven people, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty driven people. And we have often wanted to pull each other in different directions. And when that happens and you don't want to go a direction, there's just natural disappointment that kind of settles in and frustration. In that moment, just the thought began to dawn on me that, this is something she wants. And even if I don't like it, maybe I should just go do it. Because at the end of the day, I'm just going to spend that time with her. And that was what seemed most valuable. And so we did. And then somewhere along the way, we came back to the cabin, and my friend Mark and I just went out on the porch and began just kind of playing some tunes. And it wasn't long before I started finding the first verse of the song, where it's just, take my hand, let's climb that mountain, and let's go up somewhere we've not been. And that just really embodied a season for us of trying to navigate this. Man, I don't want to go there. But there's this gentleness that I was learning to approach our relationship and say, hey, it's okay, let's go together. And we can move slow. One of the first original lyrics was actually, I know the rocks are jagged. And it's like, I know there's this danger. I know there's this question about it. I know you don't really like it and there's apprehension, but there was this demand on our relationship to just be gentle and be patient with one another. And so we started picking on the porch, and it wasn't long before I was like, hey, Mark, I think I got something here. And I think it was about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it wasn't long at all.
And we came inside and showed the song to Abby, and I think it was her reaction that made me go, no, I think this is something for us.
We've written a lot of songs over the past years, and this one was immediately like a hit in our soul that just kind of felt right. The timing of the world, the timing of relationships, the timing of where it feels like our humanity may be, and it just felt right.
Yeah, it's like I said, there was this moment where we were, where the rest of the world was withdrawing from one another, and yet here we were in this moment, desperate to draw closer.
Yeah.
But the closer you got, that was where the conflicts came. And it's just this learning that if you're going to be close, you're going to have to be patient with one another. Yeah. And if you're going to stay close, you're going to have to be patient with one another.
And we hope, I think, that the song would just bring that longevity and that spirit for relationships and that power that comes from willing to do the hard stuff, willing to take the risk, willing to forgive, willing to and step through on the mountain and pull each other up, whoever it may be, during times of trial, and through that creates a legacy. For me personally, in the song, through that last verse where it talks about your children, will tell the story of how you loved me, or how I loved you. Through the time period of this, my grandparents were both dying. They'd been married for 77 years. And to see their lives and their legacy and how it impacted my life as a grandchild was just mind-blowing, and how it affected me, and yet getting to experience a love with this man that I know my children will be able to experience all their lives, even when we're well and gone. And hopefully other people that hear the song, that they can experience that too.
Yeah, I think that's what we want most, is people to find and remember that your story, your relationship, whether it's a relationship with a father and a son, a husband and a wife, or just maybe a close companion, that people are watching that relationship.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a story told about that relationship. And so how or what kind of story do you want people to tell about the relationship? Whether you press through and were patient with one another, whether you enjoyed the adventure, even the ups and downs. And I think that if people will walk away having that experience between two people, then the song was a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
We hope you like it.